Hello friends, in this video we are going to see the topic lift and drag from the chapter forces on submerged bodies. So forces on submerged bodies we are going to see here, and so look at this diagram. U is the free stream velocity. Sometimes we used to write U infinity or simply U, free stream velocity. So free stream velocity is also known as undisturbed velocity. Free stream velocity is also known as undisturbed velocity. So this is the direction of the free stream velocity, which is horizontal direction, you can see here, and this is a stationary solid body. This is a stationary solid body. In this case the body is not moving, and we have taken a section XX. XX section is taken here, and we have taken the force component of the resultant. You can see FR resultant force is here. We are having two components. So in the X direction we are having the drag force FD. FD is your drag force, and another one is your lift force FL. So the resultant component is divided in two parts, that is your lift drag, and this is another example of flow over the aerofoil. So this is the cross section of the aircraft wing, which is known as aerofoil. If you take the cross section of the aircraft wing, which is known as aerofoil, this is the flow direction. Let us say the velocity is U infinity, free stream velocity, and in this we wanted to show the direction of lift and drag. So there is also a lift force. You can see here lift force. What is the direction of lift force? Lift force will be always perpendicular or normal to the flow direction. Point to be noted. Lift force will be always perpendicular to the flow direction. See, if it is horizontal, then lift will be in the vertical direction, making angle of 90 degree. And drag force will be always parallel to the flow direction. Drag force will be always parallel to the flow direction. And if you take the resultant of lift force and drag force, you'll be getting the total aerodynamic force, which is also known as resultant. Resultant force, which is known as total aerodynamic force. And this all will pass through a point. This point can be your center of pressure, C dot, P dot, center of pressure. So whenever there is a flow over the aerofoil, there will be a lift force and drag force. Direction is already mentioned. And if you take the resultant, you will be getting the total aerodynamic force. Definitely resultant will be making some angle with the lift force. Let us say this is alpha or theta. Let's go to the next slide to see some more details about the forces on submerged body. This is just an introductory page. Whenever there is a flow over a body, a stationary body or moving body, then lift and drag forces are created, and directions are important to note here. Look at this introduction page. So first one is, when a fluid is flowing over a stationary body, a force is exerted by the fluid on the body. Similarly, when a body is moving in a stationary fluid, in this case fluid is in a stationary condition, correct? So when a body is moving in a stationary fluid, a force is exerted by the fluid on the body, correct? So in this case also you will be getting some force exerted by the fluid on the body, because it is action reaction principle. In any case you will be getting force on the body. Third one is, also when the fluid and the body both are moving, in this case both are moving at different velocities, a force is exerted by the fluid on the body. Very good example. So in all the cases there will be some force exerted by the fluid on the body, whether a body is moving or the water is moving or both are moving at the different velocities. Examples. Number one, flow of air over buildings, tall buildings, right? Flow of air over tall buildings. So there will be again the forces will be generated. Flow of water over bridges and submarines, ships, airplanes, and automobiles moving through the water or air. Some of the vehicles you can see mentioned here, they will be moving either in air or water. Next one, lift and drag. What is the definition? What is the angle? So first we are going to see lift and then we're going to see the drag. So lift force. What is lift? How we can define the definition of lift? The component of the total force Fr. The component of the total force Fr, you can see Fr is here. The same diagram I have taken so that it will be easy for you to understand. The component of the total force Fr is in the direction perpendicular. Look at this. In the direction perpendicular to the direction of motion is known as lift, or you can say normal. The component of the total force Fr, that is the resultant force in the direction perpendicular to the direction of motion, is known as lift. So when you take the component of resultant force Fr in the direction perpendicular to the direction of motion, so this is velocity u, and you will be getting perpendicular in this direction, vertical direction, correct? So this is your lift force, Fl. This is denoted by the symbol Fl. Thus lift is the force exerted by the fluid in the direction perpendicular to the direction of motion. Once again, look at the last line. This is denoted by Fl. Thus lift is the force. So the unit of the lift force will be always Newton, because it is a force only. Lift is the force exerted by the fluid in the direction perpendicular to the direction of motion. Same thing it is mentioned. What are the important point to note here? Number one, lift force occurs only when the axis of the body is inclined to the direction of fluid flow. Very, very important. Lift force occurs only when the axis of the body is inclined to the direction of fluid flow. So because I mean to say the body should not be symmetrical, right? When the axis of the body is inclined to the direction of fluid flow, then you will be having asymmetrical case. Second two, if the axis of the body is parallel to the direction of fluid flow, if the axis of the body is parallel to the direction of fluid flow, the lift force is zero. Lift force is zero. In that case, only drag force acts. Third one, if the fluid is assumed to be ideal, no viscosity, and the body is symmetrical, such as a sphere or cylinder, both the drag force and lift force will be zero. Very, very important line. Drag and lift will be zero. Okay. Once again, look at the last line. If the fluid is assumed to be ideal, no viscosity, so no, you can say no friction, and the body is symmetrical such that a sphere or cylinder, both the drag and lift force will be zero. Very important point. Okay. Let's go to the next slide to know more about the drag force. So very good example is taken here. Look at this diagram. The component of the total force Fr in the direction of motion is known as drag. Once again, the component of the total force Fr, so Fr is here, you can see Fr, resultant force. The component of the total force Fr in the direction of motion. So when you take in the direction of motion, that is your this direction, correct? In the direction of motion, this direction is known as drag force. This is denoted by Fd. So this is your drag force and denoted by the symbol Fd. Thus the drag is the force exerted by the fluid in the direction of motion. In the direction of motion. Okay. So center of pressure, already I mentioned in the first page, Cp, center of pressure is here. So this is the flow over the aerofoil, you can see. I will explain more here. So this is the relative wind direction. Relative wind means u infinity. Okay, u infinity is coming in this direction, flow is coming in this direction, and aircraft is moving in this direction. Okay, so this is the chord line. What is the chord line? You know that in the aircraft airfoil section we will be having the leading edge. So this is the leading edge, LE, and at the end we will be having the trailing edge, TE, trailing edge. So what is chord line? The shortest line, the straight line connecting the leading edge and trailing edge of the airfoil is known as chord line. Once again, the straight line connecting the leading edge and trailing edge is known as chord line, and definitely it will be the shortest distance between the leading edge and trailing edge. So chord line and relative width angle are measured here, and angle is given as A, angle of attack. So angle of attack is the angle made by the relative wind with the chord line of the aerofoil, angle of attack alpha, and this is center of pressure. So as per the relative wind direction, you can see here, there's a resultant force Fr. Resultant force Fr is here, and in the direction of motion, the component of the total force Fr in the direction of motion is known as drag force, Fd, and in the direction perpendicular to the motion is your lift force, correct, which we already seen in the last page. And so drag force is here, and this is center of pressure, Cp. Cp is the point where you can say the resultant aerodynamic force will be acting. Cp is the point where resultant aerodynamic force is acting, that is center of pressure. Okay, now we are going to see in the next slide about the equations, how to find the formula for lift and drag. Expression for lift and drag. So first of all, we are going to see for the lift force FL equal to, so we are writing simply lift force FL equal to CL, coefficient of lift, into half rho A V square or U infinity square. This is the formula, unit will be Newton. Same thing it is written here, CL A into half rho U square, correct. What is the unit? Newton. Expression of drag force, same formula, only in place of CL we will be having the CD, drag force CD into half rho A U infinity square, same unit for Newton. CD into half rho, you can see CD into half is here, rho A U infinity square, Newton. So this is the very, very general and common formula for finding the lift force and drag force in Newton. So what is CL? Coefficient of lift. It will be given in the question because it depends upon the dimension and geometry of the body. CD is the coefficient of drag. It is also given. Make a note that CL and CD, here L is capital letter suffix and D is capital letter. When you write CD, no, small letter CD, we have already mentioned this symbol as coefficient of discharge for orifice meter and venturi meter, right? What is A? Very important point here. The projected area of the body perpendicular to the direction of flow, correct, or you can say frontal area. So A is your projected area or frontal area. So A is your projected area or frontal area, largest projected area of the immersed body, and rho is the density of the fluid in which the body is moving, and u is the free stream velocity, and unit will be meter per second. Sometimes for the high velocity aircraft it will be given Mach number, correct, Mach 1, Mach 1.25, so that you can convert into meter per second. Sometimes it is given in kilometer per hour, that also you can convert into meter per second. Note, the resultant force on the body Fr. So the moment if you are calculated already the lift force and drag force, you can calculate the resultant force, which is root under of FL square plus FD square in Newton, correct. So this type of numerical we are having to find the resultant force or lift force and drag force separately also, that we are going to see in the numerical section. Okay, thank you.